It's FSB Racing Live Friday night. Milt Minter Jr. and Greg Bernardo. We've got all the stars tonight. This is going to be a good one, Greg.
You know it, Milty. Charlotte, the birthplace of stock car racing, Milty. So this is a track everyone's familiar with, and a quality field, and a quite large field, I believe, Milty. Maybe 25 guys or so.
We got all the suspects and more.
Yes, Milty. And coming up on your screen very soon, Milty, I think is the first guy you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, and who's that? Who's that in the company car? Well, that's the owner, operator, president, founder of FSB Racing, Jim Ray. Gets a rare break from the babies and running the league and life. So he's put some time in this, and he expects to make a good show here. We're going to try to grab him maybe under caution, or he's going to be our in-car reporter.
Yeah, Milty, and everyone, I'm sure, is thrilled to see him back out on the track. So, this is a great moment, not just for Jim, who I'm sure loves getting back behind that wheel and mixing it up with the best of FSB here. He does usually run a Wednesday late night race, but that does not have nearly the field nor the star quality, let's say, of this race. So this is going to be a great race for Jim to be in.
Yeah, aside from a few Porsche races on iRacing and NAGP, he really hasn't had much track time, and earlier in the week, and was like, man, getting up to the top 10 was one thing, but then from the top 10 on, he was like, holy cow, these guys, especially after not racing with some of these guys for a while, but he's a two-time Pro Cup champion, and he knows how to get it done. Won a lot of races, 24 Hours of Le Mans, on several Trans Am championships, so he can wheel.
Yeah, Milty, and while we take a look at the small screen as happy hour continues, let's take a look at the qualifying times here. And as you just said right before we went on, Milty, no surprise to you, Derby Don McCorson, the crazy Canuck.
Yep.
Is sitting on the pole.
One of his favorite tracks, man.
And again, no shocker to me at all. Usual fast suspects at the top as well. Mark DeCenzo and Robert Bochum, the teammates, along with Ken Ron there. So there's three Bochums right there. Boom, boom, boom. As usual, those guys qualify well, they communicate well, and they work together well on the track. And that's what you like to do. And those guys qualified well, and Mike Sanders with another quality qualifying effort. If you remember, Milty, he got the pole a few weeks back.
Yeah, that was in Las Vegas, his home track, and he was very excited about that. Unfortunately, ended early for him.
Right, but again, these 1.5s, he's found something about them, and another solid qualifying effort. Sam, Webb, Bill Yarbrough, Guy Petra, and Pat Rouchet, the rookie, representing the rookie club. They're qualified with the top 10.
Well, Pat's been working on a rig. I'm not sure if he's got that sucker done, but with some pictures in the FSB forum. And he's also got his son racing now. Little Pat, they call him.
And we're wrapping up happy hour here, Milty. Let's take a quick look at the points before we get back to the race. And then we see Robert Bochum with a 25-point lead over Derby Don. So good qualifying for Derby with the pole. Leading that first lap will get him an extra point there. So that's what Derby needs to do if he wants to claw into that lead. And followed by Sean Johnson, Steve Weber, and Mark Fravert. Mark's been having some great runs lately in every series he's running. He's on fire right now and moving up the rankings.
Well, and this is his favorite track, I think, and and he's due for a win. And but it's been a tough week. A lot of close competition. Definitely the admins and stuff are going to be watching this race real close. Make sure everybody plays nice.
Well, that's one of the pillars of FSB racing, Milty, is clean racing, close racing, hard racing, but you got to be clean. You can't just barge into the back of someone to just move them out of your way just because you want to. That's not part of what we do here. So as you can
got
see,
the boss out there. It's like having Bill France out there running around.
Well, maybe let's see. That's a good point. As we see them barge into each other before the pace car has even moved, Milty. So a little contact even before the pace car rolls away, and Derby Don's going to lead him away, Milty.
Well, we're looking at somewhere around 34 laps you can make, and it all depends, and you can clutch here. Most drivers will probably save that type of deal till towards the end of the race when they're on that last fuel run. You can also lift. You can lift and apply the gas. There's several different lines you can run. Of course, you always want that bottom still. It is the preferred line.
Yeah, absolutely. And just taking a look at some of the cars here before we go green. Derby's going to lead us down, Milty. What do you expect here?
Well, I expect him to be very comfortable out front and try to establish within the top three. And being on point, that gives you the best pit stall. Everything's looking good for Team FSB right now, and let's see what happens here. Going to have some too wide here right at the start, but should be able to run clean and get her sorted out.
Well, absolutely, Milty, and Derby leads us down as Mark gets a great run on the outside right to start. Now remember, FSB rules, Milty, no passing to the backstretch, so Mark has to hold that high line. He can't just duck in under Derby right here and take a position away. He's going to have to stay in that high line. Now they can all blend in, and they can't do it.
And the 54 goes around. That's Bill Yarbrough. He's not going to be happy about that. We're going to have to take a look at that, but it looked like contact from behind. That's a hard lick. And the 9 goes around. At the front, there's a couple of major contact
and
issues
Milty,
on the first lap.
And yet we stay green, Milty.
No way.
Yes, Milty. It looks like we're staying green here. And cars bouncing off the wall.
We are green.
Cars are still bouncing all over the place, Milty.
You see the tire marks where the 54 went hammering into the wall there. He must still be running, but what is NASCAR thinking here?
Yeah, there's got to be debris all over this track, Milty, and you can see there's some too wide. They're still going right at it like they haven't seen any of this action. And some hard racing there, the 44, the 16 of Den Francisconi, and there we see it looked like Sam might have been up into the fence there, Milty.
We did get looks like on the scanner, Guy Pitcher was saying, hey man, if that was me, I'm sorry. So definitely apologies coming out. And the 54 is pitting. He's probably done.
Yeah, that's
tough luck for Bill. He just come back in the league here and has some good solid finishes, but that's racing.
Yeah, he's actually won a couple times already, Milty. So he's back right in the swing of things. And that's
he's a great driver. Definitely.
The last thing that any driver wants is a lap one and out of the race instance, no matter what kind of race it is. It's really frustrating, and hopefully it's not as bad as it looked, and he can get out there and salvage something.
Yeah, without the yellow coming out, we can't go back and look at it really. I can go back and look at it, but we gotta kind of move forward here.
Yeah, and we see
one thing I'm worried about is whether or not there's a couple of things that can happen when you set up a server, and let's hope the cautions are on. Otherwise it's going to be a catastrophe. But
That's a good point, Milty. We're taking that for granted right now, but I guess we'll see as the night wears on. If we see some other wrecks that keep it green, then maybe there's something to it. But right now, you see.
You see the cream of the crop.
6 of Mark DeSenza is surged his way to the front.
Yeah, aside from Michael Sanders, these are the same guys I've seen all week right up at the front in the FSB races.
Again, like you spoke about earlier, Milty.
Somebody blowed up. Well, this is going to be a good time to see what happened, and the pace car is out. It is T.G. Reese has exploded.
Oh, that's a shame, Milty.
Come on, man. Pull that thing over. Get out of there. He's pulling it over. That thing is on fire, and he is done. TG is just, a heck of a driver. He's had some bad luck. Everybody's so fast that when you don't qualify up front, it's tough. So now what are we going to do? I think we're going to see everybody pit and get 4 cars.
Yeah, and we can see the field kind of got ahead of the pace car there, and now the pace cars picked up Mark and Mike. And there's Derby Don in third now, and Robert Bokum fourth, Ken Ron fifth. Yeah, let's see if any takers on pit lane. I'd say yes. I mean, 4 fresh tires at Charlotte is the way to do it. And
well, I'm going to take a look at a couple things while you're watching the pit road action. I want to see what happened with Dan Hansen after the first accident. The yellow wasn't out, so everybody was still racing as if nothing happened, and so it was just 2 unrelated incidents. But
yeah, and you can see that yellow did help Ken because he was managed to stay on the lead lap, Milton.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we can see that TG is retired from the race with a valve that let go, and the 54 has retired with the damages, and that's too bad. So we got 23 cars. They're all on the lead lap. Mark DeSenza leads them out and just nips the 44, I believe, of Mark Fravert with a great run off pit lane.
Yeah, Mark's got a car in the car file manager now, and nice car too.
Yeah, let's take a look at that car, Milty. There's Mark's new ride, Cool Blue, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Gotta like that, Milty. That's a throwback in a throwback series.
Yeah. Throwback beer, and I wouldn't throw it back. Yeah, looking back here, watching the action with the 9 car. He got loose on his own. Yep. No contact from Pat Roche behind him, so he didn't hit nothing. He got going. He was just pushing hard, little too inside on the exit, or like Luigi Chinetti used to tell my dad, don't go too in on the corners.
And as we see this field sorting itself out under caution here, Milty, the 6 of Mark DeSenza continues to lead. Derby Don second. Mark Fravert jumps up to third with a quality pit stop there. Robert Bokum fourth, and Dave Jandry now up to fifth.
Start, so sure there'll be more yellows.
Hey, we've grabbed Jim Ray for a minute. Jim Ray, how's it going? Getting back on the track here.
Doing well, I tell you what. These guys make it look easy, but to just hop in and come out here, and it takes all I can just to sit back here in the back and keep up with these guys.
Oh, you didn't get any damage in that stuff there. The caution didn't come out the first time there. Then we saw it come out. So that's going to be your strategy then. Just kind of hang back right now and push later in the race.
Yeah, you saw the movie Twister, where they're jamming down the road and there's cows flying left, cows flying right. You got to just head down the middle, hope you don't hit anybody. And we had one wreck down the back straight, and then we had another one around on the start-finish line, and then finally yellow came out with the third one. So be aware the flag man might be sleeping up there. So we had about 3 wrecks so far.
Yeah, he finally did throw it, so at least we know they're on. So anyway, good luck, and we'll be watching you. Take you back
Yeah,
in
thanks,
your
guys.
channel.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Cool.
Yeah, so a wild and woolly start to this race, Milty. Lap 11 of 140.
Yeah, I was having a heck of a time getting back in this channel. Not exactly. I'm kind of computer inept there, but
See, the lights are off on the pace car, though, Milty. FSB Corvette is ready to pull in. Mark's going to lead him off. Derby Don second. Gave up the lead to Mark there, and I don't know if he's going to make a quick challenge for the lead or if he's going to be content to start doing some single file racing and put some laps under everyone's belt.
Winston must have went in again in the 9 because he came back out and he's in the back.
Yeah, he made
off for fuel there.
Yeah, he did. He did make a second stop there, Milty. Yeah. So yeah, he'll restart. Last car on the lead lap here.
Good to see the dog in the 108 back. And he's fighting again for the rookie championships there.
Dog actually got a promotion before this season, Milty. So need to keep up with the times. He's in the sportsman class and kicking ass.
Oh, sportsman class and kicking ass. Oh.
And Mark gets a nice restart there. That's a quality restart by Mark. Pulls away slightly from Derby and the rest of the field.
Well, we saw him do that Wednesday night. I watched the broadcast from my motel room and on my little Android phone, which for you folks that are fans here and watching this, you can do that on YouTube or Twitch TV. It works. You can go to Greg's channel, and it was pretty cool to watch it and watch Mark dominate that race at the end there.
Yeah, Mark's been on a really nice run of top finishes and wins, and you can see when he's on, he's as good as it gets. We see some see a little slicing and dicing in the back of the field there, Milty.
Yeah, I think I was watching that. I think Sam had to get out of it a little bit there, and they were searching for spots there.
And
great driving.
As
that helps Jim Ray come up there and get by Sam as he goes backwards.
As we see Matt Watkins, who started toward the end of the field, quietly making his way to the front as he's known to do. No surprise there. And there we see Pops, 99 of Pops Markison, Milty, and right behind him, 16 of Den Francisconi. Den was very quick in practice, Milty, and I think over a long green flag run, we might see that 16 car getting up to the top 5.
Yeah, Dan being a quadriplegic, endurance is always a problem. You know, what it takes for him to do this racing is 10 times as hard as what it takes for us people without a disability. So, you know, he definitely needs green flag runs and get in a nice smooth run where he can kind of pace himself a little bit.
Yeah, and we can see Den running right in a thick pack of cars there, Milty, and you know, with a big field here, traffic. Oh, and there we see I think that's Mike Sanders there, Milty, that got a little high and slapped the wall. Everyone taking evasive action and kind of scattered around him. So far, so good. Staying green. No surprise there, but several cars snuck by him, and let's see if he can keep it settled back in.
Serious racing here, and just promoted Jeffrey to a rookie membership. Signed a contract. Jeffrey Stone. He's got the 11-year veteran behind him, Jim Ray. the president. And
Yeah,
they're running hard there.
yeah, they are,
What a
Milty.
battle.
And we see Pat get up a little high there, and some guys taking advantage of the situation, and that includes Joe Cutt there in the 88, Milty, 47 of Josh Elliker, and there's the aforementioned rookie, the 129 of Jeff Stone, gets on the inside
got
of Pat.
the apron a little bit. They
Yeah.
were talking about the apron. The
It's
apron
getting
here's
wild
good.
and woolly, and there's the boss man right in between the two of them, trying to pick a lane. He's like, which one of you guys is not going to wreck here? It was real dicey there for a second. They kind of sort themselves out, and Stone gets a little slap of the wall there, which is very easy to do here at Charlotte if you get on that high line.
Well, Jim's not thinking about this right now, but he's got to sometimes sit back, especially after this race, and think, man, what have I created? I created something pretty damn good here. A lot of good people, a lot of hard racing, and these guys are having a blast.
Yeah, look at this racing here, Milty. Toward the
end there.
I mean, this is as good as it gets right here. I mean, too wide, passing, repassing, a little wall smacking.
Braver got stuck on the outside there.
Yeah, and there gets
car
Pops.
might going away a
And,
little bit here.
and Pops got a little high there, and Pat went up with him and then cut the wheel hard and ducked underneath him. You can see the fields really stack up here quickly at Charlotte with the high speeds.
You can drive flat out by yourself, but with this draft, and that's Braver scrapes it
Oh, and that's
again.
heavy contact there by Mark against the outside wall. It looked like it flattened the side of the car, and there's a little contact between Josh Elliker and Dan
16.
Francisconi, and Dan's still scraping the wall. Now he's finally off of it, but that was a long run on the wall there by Dan. A little door-to-door contact there, Milty, and sent him up against the wall. And there's got to be some damage there that Den's going to have to repair. Hopefully he'll get a caution and able to have his crew bang that thing out. But on we continue, and there we see Jim getting underneath Joe Cutt, the admin of the series, Milty.
Admin versus admin.
How about that? A little senior staff trading some paint there and trading positions.
Well, oh boy, he's right up against the wall. Well, part of being an admin is being a good racer within the skills of good limitations, great sportsmanship, and understanding of racing. And so you got to expect these guys could drive too.
Yeah, let's not lest we forget, Milty, our leaders, which we would never forget. They're still kind of not completely sorted out. You can see Mark continues to lead with Derby Don continuing in second with Robert, Dave Jandry, and 303 of Ken Ron, and Matt Watkins trying to join the party.
Well, Matt kind of laid back, and he's right in that danger zone. 1.5 seconds is right where the draft starts to go away for you. But now he's got help. Now he's got within that, and he's down to 1.3. He should start sucking in, along with him laying back, saving tires a little bit. But you really want to get in that 1 second or less, because you can see they're pulling away from that second gaggle of battle. Seventh place, sixth from seventh is almost 6 seconds.
Yeah, you can see a huge gap there, Milty, almost a full straightaway. Here at Charlotte, and as we said, Milty, it's a fast track, and if you're off the pace, you're gonna pay the price.
I think Derby Dawn hit the wall coming out of 4, and he's going backwards. That's tough luck for the pole sitter there. Just looked like it started pushing up on him. We were talking to the drivers, and they're talking about being flat out by themselves, but you got to lift in the draft, and then this horrendous pace that they're running.
Yeah,
I think they're melting the tires off a little bit.
Yeah, they're abusing some tires here, and as you can see, that did cost Derby Don 2 positions, Milty, plus probably some damage to the car that might have to be addressed sometime during the remainder of this race if he was going to stay competitive. damage at Charlotte is kind of important. And we see Matt Watkins getting to the inside of Ken Ron here, Milty.
Well, what do you say? When you watch the greatest drivers in the history of the league, the 15's got to be one of them, and he is just cruising up there. Don't forget about me.
And there's a reason I think he picked Pac-Man for this series, Milty. When he shows up, the result is usually win. He hasn't raced many races this season. He's the defending champion, Milty, which he obviously will not be retaining this championship as he's elected not to run the full season. I think intentionally, not because he really wanted to and just missed them. But he's when he shows up, he's
looking at Pro Cup.
Yeah, he's kicking ass in Nationwide and Pro Cup, and that's his focus this season. And when he's focused, that's bad because he's dominating really both series. And in this one here, though, for the rest of the guys running the full season, when he shows up, that's one other guy you think, man, I need to really be on my game tonight. Woof. Yeah, we see
Gotro going a lap down there.
Yeah,
trying to get out of the way, but that shows you what happens when the car.
Yeah.
Oh, and he scrapes the wall.
Yeah, he's clipping off the wall here. That's a difficult situation, Milty, because
he's up against the wall.
Yeah, and you can get kind of glued to the wall there, Milty. Almost like you're stuck to the wall, and it won't release you until you get really slowed down. And again, though, Milty, we stay green. And Dave Jandry up to third. Robert Bokum now up to second, with Derby Don slipping back to fourth after he had his dance with the wall.
The second pack is falling behind, but they've got a great battle there. Elkers took over that second pack lead over the 83, and the boss, Jim Ray's, come up there. He's like fifth in that gaggle there. And Ed Finley, we haven't talked about Ed Finley in the 80. He's having a great race in the top 10.
Yeah, that's great to see. Ed, another admin, Milty, does a rookie truck series. And really nice guy, teammate of mine, and proud to say he's a teammate of mine. And it's really showed me a lot, taught me a lot.
Well, now
there's some great racing here, Milty. Looked like almost some 3-wide racing there as Dean continues to slide back and now has caught that second pack. But Josh Elliker looking strong and staying out in front of this lead pack. Oh, and as we talked about Ed, there he goes for a ride, Milty. Through the infield, down into the pit lane, and into the pit lane wall.
Behind that wall, folks. Oh, no, that's
pit crews have scattered as Ed now comes out, and we stay green, Milty.
We stay green. NASCAR is this is like the NBA Finals, where all of a sudden they don't.
No harm. I guess that's a no harm, no foul.
They don't call them it.
Wow.
And let them play.
Ed went for a wild ride, and Milty.
Oh, and we got Gotro around, and he catches the 16 right on the entrance of pit road. We got carnage, and the caution is out.
Yeah, and there we see Den smashed up against the inside wall, Milty. Let's take a look at what happened.
Poor Den is not his night, man. He's been beat up like he's at one of them, like in a bar fight there.
Yeah, let's take a little rewind here, Milty, and we'll take a look at what happened here at lap 33 of 140. There we see Den just minding his own business, staying in a nice little pack of cars. And we see Dean gets loose in front of him, and a hard impact into his rear quarter, Milty. And there's some serious body damage there. And,
he's got to win this year, and he had nowhere to go there. He tried to go low. He went all the way down under the line because he saw the opening, but Dean had couldn't get it wound up, and he was coming, and man, I don't know how many times it happens. You're like, oh no, bam.
Yeah, those
Everybody's down
are
pit road,
those are no win
45 miles
situations.
an hour.
You make your decision high low, and you have to stick with it. You can't be wishy washy because guys behind you are going to trust you. If they see you go low, they're going to say, "Okay, I'll go high." And you know, once you make that commitment, he did, and unfortunately, Dean slid right in front of him. Nothing Den could do. Hopefully, Den not too badly damaged with the caution. Maybe he can let those guys beat on that thing and get him back in shape. Never see the leaders pitting, Milty.
Wow, the 51 gets out early.
Ooh, a drag race off of pit lane between DeSenza and Bochum, and I think DeSenza nipped him with the number one pit position.
Yeah, the
or the second
sitter, Derby. Yeah, the second. Yeah, Derby. Because of that damage, they were still beating on it and working on that car.
Yeah, well,
that's why he was so far behind.
Yeah, and if I'm Derby, I need to get that damage repaired, and I'll take starting wherever I start here. And you can see Derby back onto the track there for fifth, sixth, seventh place. No big deal.
Exactly.
Clean car, though, hopefully, for Derby. We'll take a look at it here and see if there's any sheet metal turned in on them or anything, but looks okay from my perspective.
Here. And he's still got a good car, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's just 25 back of Robert Bochum. Of course, we recall Milty, Robert had some computer issues and missed almost a week's worth of his races, and it cost him some points in certain series, and this was one of them where he missed a race, and basically the entire field gained points on him, and Derby Don trying to continue that advantage now. But he's again looking up and seeing that Robert Bochum's ahead of him.
Well, I hate that spell check on cell phones here, trying to text, and doesn't work too good.
We have a new leader as well, Milty. One of your good friends, the 151, Guy Petra.
Yeah, we were giving each other a bunch of stuff before the race, but definitely one of the class acts of the league, and obviously he took 2 tires there, so
yeah, I think he did a 2-tire gambit.
He's gonna eat it.
Yeah, he's not gonna like life, but you know what? If he was, let's say, 13th or 14th Milty before, and he can get to be first now, and maybe he'll fall back. Maybe he can keep a top 10 spot. You never know, and that's a gain of position, net gain, if you want to think of it that way. But he's has other ideas. Peel him off.
Well, my eyes point at the 4th and 5th spot there of with Matt Watkins and Dave Jandry. Dave is just one of the great mile and a half for drivers, and Guy does pit, so maybe he just wanted to lead a lap. Maybe he hadn't even pitted yet.
I think he grabbed a bonus point, Milty. These guys, like you said, these are a good bunch of guys, but they want to win, and they want to beat the guy that's around them in their point stand. If they're 10th, they want to be 9th, and that's one of the ways you can do it. If you get 1 point, 20 races, that's 20 points, Milty.
Yeah, when I ran more of the pro schedule, or I ran more than one race a year or whatever, I always seem to find myself around the 51 there, and because we're always we had the same kind of style of building and building and building to the end, and you just see him coming up, and now him and Watkins 3rd and 4th. I watch for that Lowenbrow 51 car. He can do some things here.
Oh, absolutely. He's been on a roll, too. He won the Super Speedway race, Milty. And he's a Super Speedway master. I don't know how what he can do that most guys can't, but, man, he nails poles and wins in those Super Speedway races like a kid running through a candy store.
Absolutely.
And we're ready to go green here, Milty.
Let him see him, man. Okay, we reset at lap 39 here, and
Mark leads us off. Robert in second. Matt Watkins up to third, Milty. There's the Watkins and Bokum show. They're together again.
Well, Den's car is really beat up, man. He's trying to hold on to that thing. Oh, Joe kind of gets loose. I don't know if there's contact with Pat Richey of the 77, but Joe does a great job holding on to that thing.
Yeah, he did, Milty.
Like caramba.
He sure did. It looks like everyone gets back in somewhat good shape. And let's see.
Sportsman, Dog Palmer there, he's getting up there taking a look at Pops now and getting into the picture here, man. Just staying in the lead lap and racing the big picture here.
We see Ed Finley coming out, I think, of the pits, or was real slow there, Milty, and the field has to take evasive action and like fly all around him, and Matt Watkins taking advantage of that and getting to the outside of Robert Bokum and powers on the outside of him, Milty. That's not usually what you see here at Charlotte.
Well, that's what you see from the 15. I can tell you firsthand, I've lost 2 races, one on the last lap.
And there's someone riding the wall there, and it's a Sean Johnson, Milty, was up against the turn 2 wall there. And it looked like he was really slowing off the pace and damaged. We'll see what happens with him as Matt Watkins just powers around Mark DeSenza, and Matt Watkins is your new leader. And man, I'll tell you, man, that's just some driving there by Matt. He knows how to do it.
Deny. He's got the quickest hands and feet at FSB. You just see it when you see him correct the car. You watch these in cars, like I was watching the race tonight, the nationwide race, and watching these guys, turn right, catching these cars like nothing. And he's one of them guys, just has the quickest hands,
Absolutely, and we see Mark having nothing to do with it, Milty, and a power run to the inside, which is the normal way you see a pass at Charlotte. And Matt stayed in that high line, gave him the room that he needed, and Mark gets back around him. So the two have swapped the leader position now for a couple of times, and the third, fourth, and you can see now a new 5th place runner, Milty, and that's the 47.
He has come from way in the back. He did have contact with the car. I would, if I was him and I was driving, I would consider myself having one incident. So he cannot get into another car, or he could be subject to the FSB rules here. So, but he's still there. He can still race. Just got to be smart.
Yeah, and you can see he was able to navigate around Derby Don safely, and he's glued to the back bumper of Dave Jandry, who's glued to the back bumper of Robert Bokum, and really no room right now. It's a stay in line situation for these guys at the front, and now the field has started to string out as well, Milty.
Well, this thing stays green. You're going to be pit stops at 73. Long ways to go, but it's got 140 laps here, but still trying to keep track of these where they want to go, and these guys are going to be experimenting, especially in this group here. When you get in the group here, you're starting to see these long runs, which we always have here, and we're setting up for a green flag stop, and also where your car is best. Is it best middle or end, and what you can do with your driving style to improve, where you're lacking, because you got to finish these races.
Absolutely,
You can run around all together right here, but then when you see the usual suspects, these top 3 guys here that are leading this race right now, they put it in an extra gear, man, and you go, what just happened?
And we saw as you were talking there, Milty, the 77 Pat and 88 of Joe Cutt there were having a battle, and Pat there glancing off the wall just lightly, getting a little of that yellow wall paint there, Milty. What do you like those yellow walls?
Yeah, it's sure different, but I like the name Charlotte. My dad ran here way back when it's got a road course too,
And there we see
it's
Ed.
Charlotte definitely.
We saw Ed against the wall there, Milty, and really slowing hard. Kind of looked like another guy that kind of got stuck to the wall there. And the rest of these guys really had to take evasive action. You see Den getting real loose as Ed continues to struggle now. And just, once the car gets damaged, it can be a handful to turn into the turn. You don't know what you're going to have. And you can see Ed really struggling now, and Den right on his bumper, trying to avoid another catastrophe.
Yeah, you're talking 164 mile an hour for center corner speed through 1-2. That's the slowest you're going. They're coming out of turn 4 at 170 miles an hour. So, I mean, any kind of damage, aero and suspension, I mean, you just hold on for your dear life,
Yeah, we can see these leaders, Milty. I think one of the reasons they're able to pull away, not just because they're the best, because they are, but also they don't fight each other, Milty. If a guy gets a run, he makes the clean pass and they continue. You see the guys toward the middle and back of the pack. They're not clean in their passing. They get the job done in the end, but it looks like it costs them a lot of time. Where these leaders, when we see a change of position, seem to just continue on at the same pace without batting an eye.
Yeah, it's like driving on the LA freeway. If you're up at the front, you get to take off first. If you're in rush hour traffic and you're in the back there, it takes forever to get going, and every move you make costs you more and more time. Another car goes around you, and you lose time.
Yeah, never see.
Qualifying is huge. It's pit stalls and clean air on the car, and no cars to fight. It's absolutely correct.
And there we see the 191 of Mike Sanders, 303 of Ken Ron, and the boss man, 96 Jim Ray. They're having their own little three-way battle there, and Joe Cutt right ahead of them. And there's a wreck, Milty, in the back. Pat Richey is around. Heavy contact. Caution out.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, and let's take a quick look back at that. I think Pat either got some help or got loose, Milty, and we'll take a lap.
Oh boy, yeah,
look.
he got tight.
Yeah, he got up.
And he overcorrected.
Yeah, he got up high against the wall there.
Great maneuver.
Everyone got
to
to.
The 191 get by him.
Yeehaw!
Oh boy, and then gosh, that was who the heck was that in front of him? That was Finley just getting by there. As you catch those pit stops there, I'll be right back.
Yeah, that was some crazy action there. The Sam Young and Mike Sanders and I think the dog there all took evasive action to avoid the spinning Pat Richey. Going back live, we see these guys are now making their pit stops. Looking at back up to the leaders here, the 6 of Mark DeSenza, 18 of Robert Bokum. And there we see Derby Don in that pole position spot. Let's see if he can, if that helps him. Doesn't look like it did. But everyone continues on and sort themselves out here. And we're on lap 55 of 140. So we still have plenty of racing left, 85 laps remaining. So a minimum of 2 more stops. And we see the field kind of passing Derby, who's stayed very low on the apron. Looks like either Derby might have black flagged or something's up, and he needs to pit again to correct it. This is an unscheduled happening for Derby Don, who's been running
it's kind of falling apart for him here.
Yeah, it sure has.
One little bit of contact.
That's
really,
all. Yeah, Melty,
that's all you need.
You're absolutely right, Melty. That's all it takes at Charlotte is a little body damage, and your night is a long one. And we'll follow Derby here and see if he gets any service done or if he's been black flagged. If he's been black flagged for speeding, he would not be able to serve the black flag under the yellow, Melty.
Absolutely.
So he's back in, and he's getting right side tires. I believe he just got right side tires before, so not quite sure why he decided to go back around and get 4 more tires, Melty. But nonetheless, he's done that, and he's sitting now, probably having the crew work on that car, and now he's down and away. Obviously still on the lead lap at least, Melty. That's the good thing. Bad thing, though, is he's going to be down in 18th position.
Well, so the 77, he's got to consider he has an incident here, too. So brought out the caution. So he's got to be careful here trying to salvage points. Derby Dawn definitely at the top of the points ladder there. Wants to have some damage control here.
Yeah, and as you stepped away there briefly, Milty, we re-looked at the replay again, and Sam Young and Mike Sanders did a masterful, and the dog, all three of them, did just a superb job of avoiding Pat, of number one, of course, and number two, not spinning themselves, and they were all grouped very tightly. And it almost looked like a coordinated evasive maneuver, like they planned it. Excellent driving by all three of them to get by and minimize the carnage.
Well, it's like, to use the freeway analogy again, it's like you got to see the cars in front of you. You see the brake lights, or you see catastrophe. You have to react instantly, and generally we preach the first thing to do is slow down, and also take evasive action, but it works out, when it looks good like that, it works out. Sometimes like at Daytona, it's like,
We had a little server glitch there, Melty. Let's keep our fingers crossed. This was mentioned in the drivers meeting, Milty, that the servers have been acting up today, and it was a heads up to be prepared that if we get into this race and the server goes down, that's what we call a rain out here at FSB, Milty.
Looks like
everything's okay.
Coming back up.
We're ready to go green. The pace car pulled off, so let's hope for the best here. As Mark really had a dominant car tonight, Milty, leads them off.
Well, when you see a lot of action behind, sometimes the leader gets lost in the shuffle, especially when you're dominating. But this ain't easy against these studs right here. He's getting great restarts, and he is just such a natural. And he knows how to put together wins. And he dominated CCR racing, and also had good standing for many years. And that's where I met him, And he's come to this league, and he's a nice guy, and also just, can just wheel that thing. It's, whoa, man, somebody went down on the apron there.
Yeah, and Robert and Matt here are really going at it. Matt looked like he had a great run going on the outside of Robert Bokum, and Robert kind of used up that line as well, and put Matt up high against the wall there. No harm, no foul. But
oh boy!
It looked like we got to
look at Jim Ray here. Is moving up here. What a battle was! Oh, he almost got in the back of the 83 there.
Yeah, we can see some real good battling going on all through the field, Milty, as Matt Watkins gets to the inside now of Robert Bokum and completes that pass, Milty. Just a power move by Matt Watkins as he now sets his sight on Mark again, and see if those two will start mixing it up again like they just were right before that caution.
How does Matt do that? Called talent, man.
Yeah, I'm the last person you should ask that question to, Milty. Yeah, passing Robert Bokum is a rare occurrence for anyone, including Matt Watkins. And we remember, Milty, early on in our broadcast, it seemed like those two were just door to door every single finish as well, if you remember that. And there was a couple of bumps and bangs along the way, and they traded wins and traded paint.
Yeah, I think they call that some rivalry there, but
Yeah.
gotta keep it cool, because the eyes are on it.
Whoa, and there goes Ed for a ride. Looks like everything's okay. He continues to keep it straight. Nice job there. Ed's really struggling with the damaged car. I think the back end, the rear deck, rear spoiler is shot. And here at Charlotte, you got to have that rear spoiler working. But,
Well, I think Matt's fine right now where he's at. He wants to just work the 6, and guys know each other well. They just battle. So, and each track is different, each mod. So they're trying to assess their strengths and weaknesses, and got a couple guys that are a little hungrier for when they haven't got one in a while. And well, I shouldn't say that because actually Dave Jandry got a super speedway win just the other night. So I think he's feeling it here in the Lowenbrow car.
Yeah, he may be feeling it, Milty. And looking at the fastest lap of the race, Milty, real quick, we can see the number 9 of Ken Hansen at the top of the sheet with a 34.82. That is fast, Milty.
He has just never really got going again since he got loose there and got shuffled back.
Oh, we see some great racing, though, here, Milty. There's some great racing here between Sean Johnson, Mike Sanders, Ken Ron, the boss man there right ahead of him.
Like 4 wide right there.
Yeah, there's some driving there, Milty.
They all want to get up into that sweet spot in the top 7 or 8 and in that lead draft. And the thing is, they're all battling so hard. Eventually, there's like the breaking point. It's kind of right there about the 6th place.
But look at that move by Jim Ray, Milty, on the outside of Ken Ron, just powered around him like Kyle Busch or something. What a nice run there by the boss, and he's in that lead pack.
Being a teammate for all these years, he don't say much. He don't boast. He just kind of, like we said.
Oh, and there's someone hard into the wall, Milty.
And he's starting to show him, hey, remember me in the 96?
And Ed Finley hard into the wall, and he's already retired himself, Milty. Caution is out.
Yeah, I think he's had enough of that.
Yeah, he had a damage.
Car was junk.
Yeah, that's too bad. Remember you mentioned his name a little earlier in the race. He was moving up, looking good, and then it all went to hell.
Yeah, that's the building blocks you got to build to get up, and when you're all of a sudden you're in there and you got pros all around you. That's Milty. You build like a building. Just build on top of it.
Milty, since you've been a pro since pro division began in FSB, I think you've lost some of your rookie perspective as well. Where I, with the fresh eyes and know that when I'm around Matt Watkins and Robert Bokum and Dave Jandry, my heart rate goes up about 20 beats per second, and Whether I want it to or not, it does. And the reason is because you feel like you have to be perfect. And you can't be perfect in sim racing, Milty. We know that. You can only be as good as you can be, to the max of your ability. And I'm not there, and I know that. And when I get ahead of them, I feel like, man, I always think don't wreck in front of them. And and you can't race that way.
Well, you're building your experience resume, so to speak. Every race, all these races you're running, you're building your perspective on knowing what it takes to win, and it comes. And a lot of these guys, you see them come through 11 years at FSB Racing. You got guys you train, and then they end up becoming way better than you are. And personally, for me, that's makes me real proud, because that's what we're about. Is good racing and having good drivers out there.
And there we see the guys coming off of pit lane after taking that caution. Mark DeSenza continues to do what he needs to do. He gets in the pits clean, gets out clean. He continues to lead. Matt Watkins second, Robert Bokum third. Have we seen this picture before, Milty? The answer, yes, we have. Dave Jandry fourth, Josh Elliker fifth, Ken Ron sixth, and the boss man. Is that the boss man in seventh, Milty?
That would be the 96. I'm showing them in sixth right now.
Is that
there he is.
Can we check with NASCAR scoring, Milty, for a ruling?
I don't think we need to. I think we just need to watch. The foundation of the league is built on can't very well have a guy run a racing league that don't know about racing. I think the fans get to see tonight.
Yeah, I think
the FSB.
Yeah, I
the
think
boss can roll.
Milty, in a lot of corporate America, Milty, is a bunch of stuffed suits at the top. The CEOs, the fat cats, guys making all the money off the backs of the hard-working, cubicle workers or whatever. And here we are, Jim Ray. He's not a stuffed shirt. He's running seventh in a race that has basically the best racers this league has at this moment. Mark DeSenza, Matt Watkins,
Absolutely.
Robert Bokum, Dave Jandry. I mean, these are guys at the top of their game as well, having run dozens of races this season.
3-4 times a night, some of these guys.
I mean, there's some hungry guys here, and he's just been calmly wheeling this car one position better. We're only halfway through this race, and now he's in, as you said, he's in the sweet spot. Top 7, going to start with the leaders in sight. Just got to watch the guy in front of you, and that's what he's been doing. He's been doing a great job.
Yeah, let's look at the resume here. 2-time Pro Cup champion, 2 or 3-time Trans Am champion, 24 Hours of Le Mans winner, and he run there twice. And the second time, he managed our team victory, even though, of course, that's a long story, but we claimed the victory. So after 400 laps and 24 hours, we were in first. So maybe that's a win. So he's done it all, been there, and iRacing. He expands his mind on what racing is about, and
Absolutely.
He's written the rules, written the sportsmanship rules. It all comes down to everything mirrors off of him, the man, and the personality, and a great friend too.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a good friend, and he's a good friend to everyone. If someone says I can't do something or I'm having a difficulty, obviously it's pre-baby. When he had the more time to spend on this, I mean, he was the first one to say, "Meet me on TeamSpeak, at whatever time, and I'll walk you through it." And he has the computer knowledge, he has the
race cars,
all that good stuff rolled into one, and we're ready to go green here, Milty. Mark DeSenza has really kept that car out front. He's either been first or second the entire 70 laps. Now on 71, exactly just past halfway here, Milty. And guys still have to figure. Can you get it? Can you make it on one more stop, Milty, with 70 to go?
Yep, 70 and 34. 104. 34. 8. So you're right there on the bubble.
Yeah, you're going to be right on the ragged edge, I think, here as Matt Watkins powers by Mark DeSenza to retake the lead here. Mark has led the most laps so far this race. That's not really a thing Matt Watkins is concerned about, not running for the points here. He's running for the glory, so it's either win or wreckers or checkers for Matt Watkins, most likely. And right now it's checkers. With Mark right there hanging on his bumper, though, not letting him go. But they have separated from the rest of the group there, Milty, and they're stacking up a little.
Well, Robert likes to take the first 2 laps and keep his tires cool. In this game, there's something about saving your tires the first few laps. If you can keep your track position and in longer runs, Robert always races big picture. So, but he is stacking the field a little bit there. I think you're going to see him start to get going here in a minute. He's got the advantage. He's got all those cars in the draft. They're not too worried about not catching, as he did just blink right there. Oh,
yes, he did, Milty. He sure did. I don't know if that's a server or Robert himself, but yeah, he disappeared briefly. But he's back, and no harm, no foul. Ken Rondo does get on the inside of Josh Elliker and completes that pass.
Now you see him start to go, but they're still stacking up. And Jim Ray's looking for a spot. He's putting clean air on the nose.
Yeah, and Robert
sees these 2 guys battle.
Yeah, Robert having a couple blinks there, Milty. So the guys will be wary of that. 51 to Dave Jandry right on his back bumper. He doesn't want him blinking at all. But Ken was able to get back around Josh Elliker there as Matt Watkins and Mark DeSenza battle again side by side.
Ken's going for the 51 here. Looking at 3 wide there.
Yeah, Ken's.
We haven't mentioned Ken too much yet. He's been right there in the top 5, top 7 all night.
Yeah, Ken's and he's really battling hard here. Gave Dave Jandry a mirror full, and now he's on the outside there. Josh trying to sneak by on the inside yet again. Robert continues to blink, Milty, and that's going to be a cause for concern for the field. And there are protocol for that, Milty. If you are constantly having a connection issue, you're supposed to let people by and get to the back of the line and see if it can settle in. And hopefully that doesn't happen to Robert, because he's running really well here in 3rd place.
Well, right now what he's doing is blinking. He's coming back right back, and I have a lot of experience with this. I've had issues, and when it happens over and over again, you gotta park it.
And there's Jim right taking a look on the inside, Milty, of Josh Elliker.
Oh, he drifts up a little bit. Josh gives him room, though. That's smart, good racing there. You know, we're just past the halfway point, and he was beat there.
Jim
always impressed me.
Jim got up just a tick off of that white line when he was making the pass. But Josh gave him the room. Yeah, that certainly happens, especially side by side. You can get really buffeted of unstable air there, and it kind of upsets the car. And everyone's able to sort themselves out nicely and continue on. And we go further back. There we see the 9 of Ken Hansen. There's Derby Don Milty, who's had his share of problems tonight as well, starting from the pole, and it went downhill pretty quickly for him, but he's still hanging in there, Milty.
Well, the 5 and the 9 have had an uphill battle all night, just at past the halfway point. 10 laps passed, but they didn't get too excited, and they're working their way, and now you see them in the top 10 again, and in the lead draft.
And there we see Den continuing to soldier on, man, with a really beat up tailgate there, and he's got his hands full with that track. As we go back to the leaders to see if they're playing nice, and Matt Watkins continues to lead, but Mark is giving him no margin for any kind of slip up. Robert now, like as you said, Milty, looks like Robert's picked up his pace, and is closing in on these two as they battle side by side a lot. That really allows everyone, really, Milty, to pick up speed on them.
Well, one thing I've noticed with the 51 and the 96 as Jim gets a little loose there, they're using about a 3 foot or 4 foot higher line in 4. Still, like maybe put one tire right up on the edge of the dark patch and getting a good run there and getting clean air on their car. It seems like the 51 kind of dropped back down there as they're experimenting a little bit. 1 and 2, they're all staying pretty low.
Yeah, it's still early enough in the race. You want to see what's your favorite line, what do you feel most comfortable at, and what gives you the best speed. Could change. Draft changes things. Guys running different lines in front and behind you can change things. So you got to be flexible and give them a go and see what works for you. But
we got the 98 Sam Young. Got a copy, Sam?
Evening, fellas. I just can't drive tonight. Just the car has hit the wall about 8 times. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go join the guys in the booth if they'll have me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Carry on, my friend. So it just wasn't your night. What was wrong with your car there, Sam?
I'll tell you what, the first few laps, these things are just so loose. I mean, they're incredibly loose. Jim Ray was complaining about that. They're just really loose going in, and I just couldn't handle it. And boy, is it tight. It's really hard to pass here. I always thought it was an easy passing track. It's not at all.
Yeah, well, it's a give and take track, and if guys are running the preferred line here, Sam, it's kind of difficult to get around them. You'd prefer to pass on the inside, but we've seen some guys muscle around the outside as well.
Well, you guys, if you guys are watching me race at all, you'll know that I kind of like the outside.
Yeah, we were just talking about Jim Ray and the 5 and the 51 using kind of just about 3 foot higher than everybody else, and getting air on the nose, and also trying to look for grip. Not being able to pass, but experimenting with different lines there. But I also seen later in the run, you were one of those cars that was getting tight out of 2 and 4 when you were on that high line.
Yeah, I was watching the tire temperatures, and they were they're great for the first 10, 12 laps, and then boy, do they fall off. The right front starts heating up really bad, and it developed a push.
Yeah, that's at Charlotte with the high speeds that you need coming off these corners. That wall seems to kind of jump out at you, and with that dirty right front, it really pushes up right up against that wall, and it's a constant battle lap after lap. And the guys that can manage to save a tire or two, the masters, really benefit here.
It's a great battle up front, guys.
It sure is. Matt and Mark have just been at each other's bumper, one or the other. They've swapped the lead several times already. Robert and Dave and Ken there have got some great views of their battle as well.
At 15, he came out of nowhere. He started way in the back, and he came out of nowhere. And it wasn't the first restart. He was all over us.
How does he do that stuff all the time, man? Just amazing how he reinvents, kind of lulls you to sleep, and all of a sudden you're like, where'd he come from?
And then he'll do it, and he'll be chatting with you, too. He'll type a chat up there.
Yeah, he's something else, and he's not running this series obviously for championship. He's missed several races. Looks like he's just focused on Wednesday nights now. So obviously, what he wants to do tonight is just win. He's not going to be racing for no points. And when he's out front, he likes to stay out front.
He's sure hard to beat, I'll tell you.
And these guys really have settled in their positions. Josh was now able to get back around the 96 of Jim Ray. And everything looks kind of mellow now with this front-running pack.
Yeah, we were hoping and thinking, I was kind of smelling like this could all of a sudden be that one green flag run where we could have that pit stop. Of course, pitting here, Sam, is very tough. What's it like getting off turn 4 coming in here?
My teammate there, Don McCorriston, known as Derby there, he got that EO well, or he'd be up there too right now.
We saw him get a little damage. He did smack the wall and go back there. He hasn't really seemed to have that blistering speed he had getting the pole.
Yeah, a little damage here goes a long way, unfortunately. And but the good thing for Derby, Don, is that he's hung on to this lead pack of cars and hasn't fallen off the pace too much. He's right at the back of the pack here as Ken and Derby Don now try to get around Sean Johnson, who's also been into the wall tonight, Milty. And we'll see if Derby can use the draft of Ken there to get by him, and it looks like he will. So Derby still in the hunt. Maybe his chances for a win have diminished, but not his chances for a quality finish.
Well, he's looking for the championship, so he needs to maximize points. Second in points,
right?
He's got to keep fighting,
and he knows who he's chasing, Robert Bokum. So, and where's Robert Bokum usually finish a race? It's not 12th.
Yeah, he's P3, he's solid. This is what he wants right now, is a long flag run. We talked about it when he was stacking the field up a little bit, how he likes to get those first 2 laps and keep his tire temperature down.
And just as
you start to come.
Just as you speak that, Dave Jandry took a serious look to the inside, but Robert, nothing doing, powered away from him, and everyone gets back in line. But right behind him now, Josh Elliker taking a look at Ken Ron as well. So these guys at the front still trying to make opportunities when they see him.
Looks like Bokum trying to 6.
Yep. And looks like now Mark is falling off the pace a little as Dave Jandry takes a look underneath him. Trying to
gap there between Jim Ray and 47. He might be taking a breath here. It's from the couch to 180 miles an hour. That'll get your attention.
Oh, and it looked like Mark may have just brushed the wall there as they came out of 4. And if so, that's allowed Dave to finally complete that pass. Looked like he was trying to complete the pass for like a lap and a half there.
That brings Jim right back into that. Jim and Ken Hansen. Where did Ken Hansen come from? From the back, and from self spin, and going through the infield didn't phase him, and he patiently has worked his way back up.
Yeah, and the 303 and the 47 are really going at it. It seems like they've been side by side now for several laps as well. But Jim there just saying, someone get ahead so I can follow you through. Yeah, or he's going to pick his own line.
Driving side by side here is so difficult. The cars are so loose in the aero, and you got draft and all kinds of things going on at one time, and these cars are very unstable.
Whoa!
The 6 is hitting.
Oh my!
What's that? Something happened with the 6, and
yeah, and that's really crazed things up here.
There's no chat on the. He had some. No, he put a pit. My bad. 3 pit stop. Signals. They must not have saw that.
Yeah, that was almost a major disaster.
He signaled 3 times right there.
Yeah, I guess.
That's an awful early pit stop for the 6. What the heck's going on there?
Yeah, well, that's another good point. But we see he's in Milty all by himself. It's a lonely pit lane, and he's getting 4 tires and fuel.
I think Ken Ron got the wall there trying to avoid him, too.
He sure did,
Milty. That
Milty.
hurt the 303, man. Man, has he had some bad luck.
Yeah, I think you may be right. As Mark finished his pit stop, Milty, and
he might not just saw it, you know. I mean,
getting back up to speed.
These guys are pitting. They're not going to. If Watkins is pitting, they cannot make it to the end here.
Well, tires go away very quick at Charlotte. We all know that. But that Ken Ron, you just mentioned that 303. You know, he has had some bad luck, but this is an up-and-coming star right here. This Ken Ron is incredible. Oh, here we go. The 6 just got lost. The 88, it looks like, was up by the wall, and 6 is now in the infield.
Holy cow! We got pit stops, and
Mark.
Out here.
Yeah, Mark's driving through it now. He really shouldn't have got onto pit lane there. I think that's might possibly get him a black flag.
We got caught. Oh, and the 303 misses. He goes outside the commitment cone. That's going to be an EOL or at least a drive-through. Not good. The 9 makes a decent stop, but he locked him up.
There's just craziness all over the track. I don't even know what as we see Joe Cutt come in crazy. Joe Cutt coming in sideways.
Well, it looked like earlier that the 88 and the 6 were both. The 88 looks like he was going to try to pit, and they saw the 6 was coming so hard.
Sorry.
Take it easy, Milty. Take it easy.
Woo, boy, they were shitting pizzas there in the pits there.
Yeah, let's go back to the 6 car and let's see if I can find them.
We got cars coming off.
There's cars all over the place, Mill. I don't know who's doing what anymore.
Oh boy, Josh Elliker got loose coming out. I don't know if we can. A good thing Sam's here. Maybe between the 3 of us, we might be able to catch all this.
Jeez, and there's Mark. He's back underway. How is there no caution here, man? This is insane stuff. There's guys bouncing off walls all over the place. Steve Webb is your current leader right now, Milty, and the 18 of Robert Bokum is second. Steve Webb, last one to complete the green flag stop. But that will
Welcome exiting pits.
Yeah, and that's
they're pitting. They're only pitting 22, 25 laps into these runs. They can go 33, but I think these tires are falling.
Yeah, these tires must really be going away. You're absolutely right, Sam. And they're screaming at their crew chief, "I need tires!" And he's saying, "Stay out, stay out. We can make it on one more stop." And they're like, "Bullshit, I'm coming in."
Boy, Pat Richer up on the wall.
Yeah.
Jandry goes by.
Yeah,
looks like the 15 is going to retake the lead with Jandry right behind him, and Mr. Bokum.
That's Matt Watkins.
And that 83 looks like he just completed his pit stop, so he'll be back.
Yeah, and let's see as we flip on the scoring here to recycle everything here. And Sam is correct. The 15 of Matt Watkins is our new leader, and the 51 of Dave Jandry second. 2.5 seconds, though, or 2.5 seconds back. So Matt Watkins was able to stretch during these exchange of crazy pits. I mean, that was insane. Exchange of pit stops there. Guys flying all over the track, in the pits, on the grass. And unfortunately, the loser in all that, Sam, is the 6 of Mark DeSenza.
Yeah, he's about to go a couple laps down.
Actually, we're seeing that Mark is the last car in the lead lap. So we'll see how Matt Watkins approaches this situation. Obviously,
his former teammate.
Yeah, former teammates, now rivals, or competing teams. We won't use the word rivals. And they've also been battling constantly on the track for the lead, first and second. Now it's first and lead lap. And Mark has the position, really. And we'll see if Matt tries to take it from him or if he's content to just ride behind him.
Well, right now the 15 is stretched to about a 3-second lead, and that's what he does. I mean, he's so quick in the pits and out of the pits, and now he had fresher tires for a couple laps more than these guys, It'll fall off later on, but what he's gaining right now is going to be a huge advantage. And the 51 and the 18, it looks like they're going to get ready to battle here in a second.
Whoa, Gendry up against the wall there. What the heck happened there?
Yeah, they
Looked
must.
like he got spooked by somebody there, or he had contact earlier.
I don't know
He's
if
way off the pace.
I don't know if Robert might have had a little blink next to him, and he,
That's what it looked like. Got spooked or something there.
Yeah, and we can see the field now is really spaced out. The top four now separated by 7 seconds. Back to 5th place, Ken Ron, who's over 10 seconds now behind. So these green flag stops have really scrambled the field. But we see the 9 of Ken Hansen 6th, 96 of Jim Ray hanging in on that 7th place. And he's got 2 positions right ahead of him, so we got some battles going on here on the track.
Yeah, you got to think coming off the couch to FSB racing in the cockpit for Jim, he probably had was real conservative there, but as a pro driver, he knew what I'd rather survive than push it, but he's right in the battle there for top 5.
He sure is, and the battle at the front here is really heating up with Mark desperately trying to stay on this lead lap as they come screaming up on Joe Cutter. Joe gets a little high there, and they decide to go down low underneath him, and Matt basically right on the back bumper of Mark. Matt being the leader of the race, Mark being the last car on the lead lap.
We have a nice little battle, too, for between 303 and the 9. Now, this is the first chance I've seen our new rookie here, Ken Hansen. He's got some talent. It looks like he's got some skills.
He does. Yep.
It also looks like...
Back comes what I was saying, sorry, Greg. Back what I was saying about the 303. This guy is he's coming. In only one season, he has gotten to the top of the charts, and it's only a matter of time. The seat time is all it's going to take now, and he's going to be a contender in championships and wins very, very soon. Yeah,
he's already been to victory lane several times.
Jim Ray got by him right there, and
Ken is certainly no stranger to success already, and I believe also was really dominant in the rookie division on his way up. Rookie truck and Cup champion.
Jim Ray earlier when we were during warm-ups and practice, Jim did have to mess around a lot with talking to his crew chief, trying to work with steering ratios, which is all you can really work with here. And seems like Jim figured it out. He was complaining early about how loose the car was going in 1 and 2 and how it wanted to dive down to the bottom. I don't know if that's the caster or something wrong with the setup there, but it sure does dive down in without even turning the wheel. And then it pushes up in the middle of the turn, and then it wants to cut back down into the apron on the exit. So it's a difficult little turn, this turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Turn 1s and 2 is really the trap of this track. 3 and 4 are more generously kind of a sweeping coming out of the 4 with the front stretch there. The way it's that D shape, so you can get a little more little ease of exit there, where 1 and 2 you really gotta wheel the car, and like you said, it tends to really want to dive down as soon as you get in turn 1. You got to be wary of that, especially around traffic.
Yeah, and you absolutely nailed it there, Sam, because caster is exactly that's what caster does. It's that initial how responsive your wheel is on your initial turn in.
It actually, caster, the way they've got it set up in stock cars, drag cars have a lot of caster in them, keep them wheel straight. If you let go of the wheel in a drag car, it's going to go straight. But these things are set to turn left, so you got stagger between the caster here, and the more stagger between the difference between the two, the left side and the right side, is what's going to cause that pull into the turn. And they've only got about 2.5 degrees of stagger in the caster here, but boy, it sure is hard to drive.
And we see that Jandry, as we said, had a little hiccup there, and unfortunately, we weren't able to see the whole thing. It looked like maybe Robert had a slight blink there, and Dave just reacting to a guy.
Oh, Jim Ray gets loose, and he saves it.
Easy, Milty, easy.
Bucker in there. Woo!
Don't want to scare people who are trying to watch this, Milty.
Don't be scared.
He's excitable. So am I, actually.
Be a suit up.
It looks like at the front here, Matt was able to get around Mark to put him the lap down. So we'll see how that continues. But Mark's tires and Matt's tires are pretty equal. All things, maybe a couple lap difference between the two. So we'll see if Mark can hang with him, and if a yellow does come out, will Matt allow him to get back ahead of him, or will he keep him down? Interesting dynamic there.
That's a good question there.
How do you dominate by 6 seconds this great field, you know?
Yeah, and not only that, but we're midway into this run, and he's still pulling away after he took tires earlier than the other drivers. So Matt Watkins started off with a 2-second lead on these guys, and he's up to 6.5, almost 7 seconds now ahead of these guys.
Yeah, he's showing you why he's as Sam said, he's so good in and out of the pits that when these green flag stops pop up, he really shines, and you can see the difference between the race before and after that green flag stop was his skill getting in and out, and it's translated into a huge lead now. But Mark is sticking with him here, so this will be interesting to see.
Exactly. He's already made a deal with Mark. Yellow comes out, I'll give you your lap back if you draft with me. Sam knows that. He was talking about him texting, so he's already made that deal. And as we got the 5 pitting,
yeah, we see Milty. We're on lap 120, coming to the conclusion of lap 122 of 140. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty finally here. 18 laps remaining. It has a really green flag look to a finish here, Milty. So it's really Matt Watkins' race to lose only. And
well, Greg, we got one more round of pit stops, I would think, right, Greg?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we should have one more round of pit stops, but I only see that lead growing if we stay green.
Yeah, we heard Matt Watkins talk about Damon Godstill. It was like a 2-time double champion in a row, and a guy like Matt, you're getting beat on pit stops. He totally restructured his game to focus on those, and we were talking earlier about if we had a green flag pit stop, and we just showed, and he just showed, the viewing audience how you just dominate a race just by a pit stop,
Well, I tell you that Matt Watkins, as the sponsor for the Pro Cup division for 2 seasons, I sent Matt 2 sets of trophies, even for the King of the Hill twice there, and he just stores them in his mother's garage. He's got no room for them.
Yeah, he's already got 2 rooms full of trophies. He doesn't know where else to go with them. It's kind of like when they talked about Martinsville collecting all those grandfather clocks. What do you do with them all? But
constantly updating his game. Competition is as good as it's ever been, and he's still really much the benchmark that we look at. Obviously Robert Bokum's in that category, but he is really, and of course he's in second, but 6.64 seconds. He's got Dave Gendry giving him a earful here.
Yeah, and 47 of Josh Elker trying to hang in there with him, and Dave Gendry, but they just can't seem to make any headway.
Well, this is an interesting scenario here, because you see, I know Matt is waiting and hoping that he doesn't want to go into the pits too early, because then if a caution comes out, he'll be a lap down, and so it's an interesting little thing here. He's just either hoping for a yellow, or he wants to everybody else will start pitting before he does, because he did pit earlier than everybody else last time.
Yeah, well, we're getting down to the final 10 laps of this race here. As they're on lap 128 now of 140. So something's going to have to give very shortly here. And we'll stay with the leaders. We'll stay up here with the
Jim Marguson. Jim Marguson nicely lets everybody by there.
Yeah, that's you don't want to be that guy, as they always say. When you're a little off the pace and you see the leader screaming up at you, last thing you want to do is cause anything. So Pop's doing the right thing there, getting up high, letting them go by, and you can continue on again.
Well, next time past the line there is going to be 10 to go. So this is a very interesting little scenario we got playing out here. Do they have enough gas?
No, they can't make it. No way. They can go to 38. So they'd have to be clutching, but I'm not seeing nobody clutching here.
Maybe Robert Bokum. Maybe that's why it's a 7-second lead, Milty.
Well, he's got lap traffic too. He's dealing with, but that's what he'd have to do. He's got to be clutching. Well, if he has any chance. Matt's gonna have to pit. He's got to.
Yeah, we're gonna stick with Matt Watkins here because it's gonna be interesting to see.
Scanner is up. 6 is pitting. 83 is pitting. Let's watch this.
And Matt is not pitting, and he continues on and completes another lap.
And the king of saving gas is Matt Watkins.
He's going so fast. Watkins is pitting. 15 is pitting.
So we got Matt Watkins signaling the field that he's going to be coming in.
We're going to take a ride with this guy when he pits here.
We'll stay right on Matt Watkins as he locks up the brakes once, swings the car down off of turn 4, which is not easy to do. We see Robert Bokum goes by him for the lead.
Young kids at home.
Dave Jandry, Josh Elliker have not pitted. But there we see Matt Watkins easily into the pit, perfectly stopped. Right side's on.
83. 6 is exiting pits. 83 exiting.
This is also interesting. Who may gamble with 2 tires?
That's right. I was just about to say Matt Watkins electing that 4 tires with just 8 laps to go. So interesting move by Matt Watkins. I thought he might take 2 there. He elected to take 4.
Well, Sam, what do you think? You were out there on the track. His left sides are done.
Oh, Matt Watkins went onto the track. He might be getting a penalty. He went onto the track early.
He did.
Mine is pitting.
He dumped back down. Sometimes it gives you a little leeway with that. We'll see if that causes him a black flag. If that does, obviously his race is over.
49 is pitting.
Well, we're back to the front here. We see Robert Bokum continuing to lead. Dave Jandry, Josh Elliker staying out.
Bokum is pitting. Will he go for 2 tires here and try to get track position? It's his only chance, really, but if his left sides are done, as I've experienced.
I mean, if it was 1 or 2 laps, Milty, maybe. With 5 laps, man, it's
scary.
Yeah.
88 is pitting. 96, the boss is pitting.
Yeah, and 51 and 47 have come in with Robert Bokum. There we see Matt Watkins going by him. So this is what it's going to come down to.
Yeah,
we got a race between the 47 and the 51 in the pits.
Absolutely.
This is great, folks.
Yeah, there's some.
I don't know where your camera is there, Greg. So I'm trying to follow where you are there. So
I'm down in the pits watching Robert Bokum get into his pit.
Absolutely.
He's good to go there. We see Dave Jandry did elect to take 2 tires. Dave Jandry with a 2-tire change.
Josh Elliker did too. The 18 did too. So now we have 3 cars with 2 tires.
That's their play. Can they hold off? The 15 is going to be hauling ass, right? He knows.
Dave Jandry got off a pit lane really quick there. And
he just blows by the great stop for the Lowenbrow team.
And here comes Matt Watkins as Dave Jandry still squeezing that accelerator, trying to get up to speed. Unbelievable move by Dave Jandry, but here comes Matt Watkins up at full speed, and I don't know if you can hold him. That's like a Brahma bull raging right at you. And around he goes, Dave Jandry. But Dave making a
Does
bold
not
move.
much.
Great pit stop for the 51.
Let's see if he can hold off. We have still plenty of racing left here. It's not just one lap remaining. We still got 4 laps of racing to go. Can Dave has
He's got 4 tires. They're toast.
Yeah, I think this is it for the win. Can Dave hold on to second place? It looks pretty good so far.
Well, 6 seconds is more than enough to put that extra 2 tires on. So I think Matt Watkins just needed a really good stop, and he knew this baby was his, man.
Well, the other guy's only chance really was to take 2 tires and hope for the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that was probably the only move to make. So the guys did what they had to do. It's not going to pay off for a victory.
That 18 is catching that 51, though.
He sure is, Sam. Robert slowly closing in on him, and I think he's going to get by him, it looks like here.
Jim Ray's got a shot at the top 5 here. He's battling Ken Hansen in the 9, too. Another good battle on the track.
And Dave driving that mirror hard right now. Robert looks on the inside, and looks like he's going to get by him.
Here comes the 83, too, but he's a lap down.
Yeah, unfortunately
on 4 tires.
Yeah, and he's also right on 4 tires there, where Dave's really going away there. We see the 47 holding on to 4th, and a big gap there. So Josh can really just autopilot this thing home to 4th place.
I think the race is the 9 and the 96 right now. With 1 to go, the boss trying for a top 5 here on the 9. I'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. And there we see the 9 of Ken Hansen trying to stretch out that lead on the boss man. And it looks like he's going to be successful as we take the checkered flag here, Milty. 1 to go, and Ken and Jim are really the only cars in contact with each other of the leaders.
4-second lead for the leader. That's done. Unless he blows up or something.
And regardless of where Jim finishes here, 5th or 6th, what a great run by the part-timer. We'll call him the part-timer.
Yeah, Jim hasn't been behind the wheel in quite a long time, so it's good to see him getting out there and doing what he's doing tonight. That's for sure. And before I get out of here, I want to tell you guys what a wonderful job you guys are doing, and I hope you keep it up. And I think it's just nothing better for this league, and we're going to get more of an audience, and just can't say enough about what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you guys giving us the show to talk about. And as we saw, great performance, the consummate professional Matt Watkins, really a dominant performance, showing the field how it's done, how you win here at FSB. You stay clean, you make quality pit stops, and you stay out of trouble. That's what he did, and he's the winner.
And he started in the back.
He's going
to give us one heck of a burnout here.
Yeah. We always enjoy a Matt Watkins burnout. Well, looking at the final running order here, we see that Robert was able to take that position from Dave Jandry in those closing laps and finished 2nd. Dave back to 3rd. Josh with a great run tonight, Milty. Great run by Josh. 4th place.
He started in the back, too.
I think this is Ken Hansen's first top 5 of his career, Milty. And he did it with a quality field, so this got to feel he's got to feel a mile high.
Yeah, with adversity.
Yeah, and a tough setup and track.
Yeah, and he spun it there and went to the back and then pitted again. Tried to just put himself in the back, regrouped, had no damage, and patiently worked his way up.
Well, it's not the last
Very
we've seen of
impressive.
this guy for sure. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Yeah, definitely.
And rounding out the lead lap cars, Jim Ray brings it home sixth, brings that 96 car home sixth. And who dat? Back to the New Orleans Saints days. Who dat? That's Jim Ray. Yeah, that's the guy that's put pen to paper before the computer age and drew up FSB Racing, and there he is finishing sixth. As Milty says, from the couch to the behind the wheel, and a quality finish for Jim. Ken and Derby Don ran out the lead lap cars, only 8 cars on the lead lap. And that's not something you see very often here at FSB. So that shows you that this was a very difficult setup, racetrack, and race.
Yep.
And we can see there's some gear. Sam had a little gearbox issue. It says there, Sam. What happened there?
Oh, that was first gear. I blew that. Yeah. No, I had somebody. Can you all hear me?
I think Sam's got his boss in his ear there. So.
Yeah, the old lady.
But there we see the 151 of Guy Petra, a camshaft problem, and we saw TG early in the race there, Milty, blow his engine up.
Yeah, I had the first gear went out early on me. That's all that was. I parked the car because I just felt I was a danger to this field. I didn't get enough seat time out there, and that was just my mistake, not getting enough seat time and really practicing with this setup. So.
Yeah, we ran some laps informally last night, just so I could get the flavor of what it would be like, and it was a handful, even just driving the track by yourself. But great win for yet again for Matt Watkins. I think this is just his 8th start, and I believe his 3rd win. So when he shows up, good chance he's gonna win a race there, Milty, and he proved to this field what it takes to win a race here at FSB.
You can do it any way, from the front, from the back, from 15th at the halfway point, from first at the halfway point. He knows how to be a front runner. He knows how to move his way up patiently. He knows how to save. And he also knows how to keep his head with strategy while he's driving the car, and also execute on the track, which is, in sim racing, you have to do both. And that's where it gets difficult, because you got a lot of stuff going on. And he had the field measured. He knew his distance and gaps. And these guys are, they have a notebook. And the notebook said, pit, get 4 tires. You got a 6-second lead. Drive it hard but safe, and cruise to the victory. And that's what he did.
Yeah,
Consummate pro, that guy. Speaking of
absolutely.
Pro Cup, I believe if you're doing a broadcast next week, that's where we're going, folks. Too Tough to Tame. We're going to Darlington.
Yes, we are. We're going to the Lady in Black next week, Milty, and I wanted to bring that up on the screen for our viewers to see the schedule here, and wanted to point out a couple things on the schedule that I think are important. One, the number one most important thing on this list here is who won the very first race of the season. Who the heck is that winner? That's got to be some kind of computer error.
I think I was drunk at the time.
Says Milt Minter Jr., so I
don't know about that.
Yeah, we're going to have to recheck the scoring system at Daytona to kick off this season. But yeah, Milty outdueled Matt Watkins in that race for a very satisfying victory, I know. But
it was.
We can see here that, as Sam was referring to, the chase for the Cup is right there. Darlington leads it off, then we run to Indy, Richmond, Talladega, Kansas, and then Charlotte wraps it up, and that's this very track.
You think they were loose tonight, boy?
Yeah, just wait till that Pro Cup setup hits, Sammy. You're going to talk about loose.
Your arms are going to fall off. But
I might want to practice a little bit. I actually went in and into my options during a pit stop and put some steering assistance in with me because I just felt I couldn't control the car, but it didn't help much.
And we can see Matt Watkins is going to enter this chase with a lot of momentum. He's won 3 of the last 4 races. He has a sizable lead with just 6 races remaining. So he's definitely, obviously, the one to beat. Darlington, a lot of interesting mix of tracks too. We go from, a really difficult driving track at Darlington to, a more benign track like Indianapolis, which is a kind of a love-hate track with a lot of guys. Stock car, a lot of guys don't like it. IndyCar, a lot of guys really like it.
Well, and I hate to scare the fans, but Matt Watkins also happens to live like a stone's throw away from that track. So I think this is going to be a home race for him.
Yeah, and I believe he's also an FSB IndyCar champion.
Absolutely, won the Indy 500.
I think he's won it a couple times, hasn't he?
And
he's won it once.
They continue on to the only short track of the chase, Richmond, which doesn't really drive like a short track. It's a very fast 3/4 of a mile D-shaped oval. And then the crapshoot at Talladega. And then the final 2 races, Kansas and Charlotte, an interesting finish. But as we saw tonight with that with the race here at Charlotte, it can be a wild finish there.
Yeah, we got Jim Ray in the booth here. What's it like to go from the couch to 180 miles an hour there, boss? Nice finish.
That is a blast. It is hot. Those of you not doing this at home, you need to check this out because that was a whole lot of fun. I don't know, half a dozen near fatalities there. I had a spin, overshot my pit stall, a couple other things there. They fixed some damage when we didn't want them to, all that good stuff. But in the end, that was a lot of fun. No chance for the top 5s there. We I think it was the 6 was pitting, and the 303 caught him right at the wrong time, kind of got in the wall, and we all checked up. And we'll say a big thanks to Ken Hansen in the 9 right there. We were all sitting 3 wide, staring down the barrel of a gun going into 1, and he backed off, and Ken and I were able to negotiate, and he got by us a little bit later. So big props and a great run by the 9, Ken Hansen. I didn't see the other guys too much. But Webb, Josh Elker, all those guys had a great run with them. And the league's just like I left it last time I raced. It seems like it's been about 5 years ago, but it's really no different other than it's more difficult and really difficult to go incident-free. You gotta really race to put that in perspective. As much as I harass these guys about the 2 inks, I mean, it's a win. I survived this race without wrecking anybody, without blocking anybody or any of that stuff. So to me, that's a win.
Well, I want to say congrats, Jim, because you did really. We were having fun watching you and Ken Hansen running, and that Ken Hansen, he's going to be something in this league, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He was better in 1 and 2. I was better in 3 and 4, but there's no way. Even if I would have got to his bumper, I don't think I would have had anything to get around him with really worn out left sides as I locked him up getting on pit road. He ran great. I was really surprised to even catch him off pit road. We both had a conservative stop. I'm still trying to figure out how the 15, formerly the 35, got a 6-second lead there before the final pit stop.
That's a Damien.
He must have caught some draft.
Damien got still a pit stops, man.
Was it? That's it. I was rolling into my only green flag pit stop asking Derby, hey, so where should you let off? How fast can you go off pit road? All the stuff that makes for a championship run when you haven't practiced it once. And I'm sure Matt has it figured out.
Yeah, wow. He had it figured out. He just he goes in as fast as possible and gets it slowed down just like you need to, and he never misses his stall, and he never slides through. And yeah, he had a lot of drafting help from Mark DeCenza, who was battling him for the lead lap. So that actually turned out probably as a help from Matt Watkins in the end.
Yeah, he could have been screwed if caution would have caught him, but he pitted earlier, and then when he came out, he had fresher tires, and he had DeCenza on the same plan. So they just stretched the lead. I'm sure they had if the caution would have came out, he would have gave mark his lap at. That was the deal. It was, and then he just executed another masterful pit stop.
Yeah.
So what about some of the upcoming events there, Jim? 2.4 hours of Le Mans and Indy 500. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, June, quote, off-season month, hosts some big events. If you go to fsbracing.com and scroll down on the homepage, you'll see the special events. And we have, of course, the Indianapolis 500, the first weekend in June. That's going to be, I believe, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a live broadcast. I'll be showing that with Milt. And that's open to anybody in the league. Got to be a member, though.
Craig's going to run that one.
Yeah.
We're going to be watching you, Greg.
Take off the headset, put on the helmet.
Yeah, gonna have to do that. I gave my threw my hat in the ring for that first 125 mile an hour qualifier, which I'm showing up on the screen right now. The results of that previous race, and you can see I finished not too good. Got a little loose, hit the wall, and then on a restart, I ran someone over and. Got flipped over, and that was it for my race. So hopefully this next qualifier coming up, I'll at least run the 50 laps.
The next qualifier, by the way, is coming up on Easter Sunday. I'll be your host that evening.
And I'll be in my ride, and hopefully my good booth partner, Milt Mintner, will get out there and help me draft.
Yeah, I'm eligible for those races, so as long as I'm not working or something,
It's Easter Sunday. I mean, you better not be working.
I think we're gonna get the Johnny Lightning FSB Porsche IndyCar out there and see what's up there.
Once you gather up your huevos and your Easter egg nuts, come on out and do some IndyCar racing Sunday night. With IndyCars, a lot like my outlook on tonight's race was looking around me. I mean, it was pretty hectic back there. Sitting about 18th through 21st, and there's just nowhere to go. You think you can start moving up and stuff like that. You just have to wait it out. Pick off a couple of each pit stop and then work you up to the front. It's really the only way you can go. If you think you're going to be able to blast through, which you can, because you really get a good run at Indy, you're just going to wipe out yourself and anybody else when you touch that apron. So just bear in mind, stay where you are. And my goal there too, Greg, or anybody listening, is don't run side by side any longer than you have to. As soon as someone's next to you, get in line. And if you get freight trains, so what? Because you'll find that after 3 hours, you still have, or after about 2 hours, you still have a regular FSB race to go. You still got 50, 60 laps. So if you survive that long, I mean, really, that lead lap, 2 minutes long or whatever, under caution. So, I mean, do your best.
Yeah, a lot of incentive to avoid that yellow flag at Indy, that's for sure. You're absolutely right. And quickly, before we go off the air here, let's take a quick look at the updated points after Matt Watkins' victory tonight at Charlotte. And we can see Robert was able to stretch out his lead. He came in with a 25-point lead. Now he leaves with a 31-point lead. No chase in the Aero Series. This is just like old Winston Cup points where you just raced the whole season. The guy with the most points was the winner. But as we've said several times, the cream does rise to the top, Milty.
Yeah, well, Derby, he had damage assessment there, but really that one scrape on the wall for the 49, he's a Derby driver in real life, but did not help him on this track. And, a clean car and solid stops was the key to the race.
He also got that early penalty in the pits there, and he got the OLL and got the end of the longest line. So he was in the back, and he was fighting basically handicapped the whole race.
Yeah, restraining order has been filed at the track after he choked out the flagman and the NASCAR official there. So once they went to sleep, everybody decided, okay, no, you can't go within 50 yards of a radar gun on pit road after that.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like you've done nothing wrong, and you hear that guy say you got a black flag. You can't do much arguing, though, can you, in this game?
Nope, and I hit the cone on my way in and hit it at about 47. Even went up to about 47, right at the line. I was like, there's no way they're gonna let me go, and they did. So, tough break for Derby Dawn. He was fast. He had a good car, but great comeback for Derby Dawn. Very smooth and consistent, and he lost the draft, but he had a real good stop and came back.
Yeah, and
thanks to you guys. Before I got to take off, but really appreciate you guys doing these broadcasts twice a week. Takes up a lot of time, but we all enjoy them. I can't wait to watch this one, and just watching the chicken run race that Greg did a while ago, and finally seeing myself in a broadcast after all these years. I really see why you guys enjoy it. So please keep it up. If you guys need anything from me, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks.
Thanks, Jim, and great run, man.
And thanks, Sam, for coming in the booth, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to Sam.
Great.
Coming in the booth.
Always great insight, man.
Absolutely.
Always fun with you guys, and I'll be glad to do it anytime. In fact, if I can ever get my speakers figured out, I'd like you to pull me up during a race, and I can give you a little driver insight. You ride in my car during the pace laps, and we can talk a little bit about the race. Anyway, guys, thank you so very much for you guys doing this, and we'll see you at the next one.
Okay, Sam, thanks a lot. And again, our next broadcast, Milty, first race of the chase, Darlington, the lady in black for the Pro Cup boys.
Gosh, I think I'm going to be out of town working, but I'm going to get my co-worker. I'm going to beg him. Hopefully it won't be a soccer game on, because my co-worker's out. I got outvoted, but I watch it on my cell phone, so I probably won't be here, but Greg, you did a great job by yourself there. And who knows, might drag a couple guys in the booth with you.
Yeah,
man.
you never know what can happen.
Anybody that wants to do this that's a member of the league, more than welcome to get in the booth and pretend you're Greg Chick Bernardo, you know.
Absolutely. And yeah, Milty, it's always great to have you in here. It's always better with your insight and knowledge of the guys and stuff and your stories. So we appreciate. We know you're working hard, putting food on the table, Milty, and